and I'm sorry, you can go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
That's okay. Well, so all I did, was just click edit the assignment. I'm in this composition assignment.
Can
So
we go
here-
back, like,
One level?
Yeah.
Let's just go back here. Okay. All right, so I clicked on composition.
this is what I
Actually-
will do for you. You will come in and you will see all this stuff.
The course components,
Yes.
essentially is what we're looking at, right?
Now, you know, and you probably should start getting familiar with,
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna
have to play
see these
around.
little icons all the time, okay? The pencil is always edit,
Okay.
But if you forget to mouse over and see it there, if you had clicked on the assignment itself,
It'll
you
bring
could
it up
see edit
as an
assignment
option.
right
Okay.
there. So, just so you know. But here, if you wanted to add a rubric, or here if you were gonna go in and grade it, you know, so there's, sometimes you do wanna click on it, but here was edit. So this could be an instruction area, you know. I can't spell here, you know, instruction area, you know, you can, you know, give.
Okay, so this is where I'm posting the assignment,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could be-
parameters and whatever, right?
And you can type it in, or you can copy and paste it from your
From
handout
another doc-
and put
okay.
it here.
And
Okay.
notice, you know, so you can bold, italics, underline, you know, you can insert images, you know, you can, you know, put a table, I mean, you can, whatever it is you need, create links if you need it to link, I mean, this is your instruction area.
Okay.
So in that previous one that we went to, we saw an image and we, you know, they were told to create a blog, you know, that was in an assignment, so that image was brought in and those basic text. So all that you can just put in here, okay? And then I'm going to.
There's a couple of other options that are pretty useful at the top. So you see, there's a YouTube button, there's a Khan Academy button, there's a TED button, and the other one. So if you click on the YouTube one, for instance, you can just search for a keyword,
Somewhere.
find a video, and just embed it.
That's
Mhm.
much quicker, for
Yeah.
sure, huh?
Yeah.
And
Very
Oh,
handy.
so yeah, you can click on it and just search for Spanish, whatever, and you'll find all sorts of content that you can just embed directly there, and you don't have to put any kind of embed code. If you find it through that search, then that's the one you want. There you go. Double click on it, so you
And
can.
it's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. When you switch to view mode, then the video is going to be embedded directly there.
And so the students then, they read the assignment, click on the thing, and they go right to
Right.
see the same video then,
Yeah.
right?
And then the other one is the media, so the one next to the TED one. So that's where you can actually just record a short, again, the whole idea of if you want to use your webcam and just give instructions orally, then you could do that as well.
Here, I'll show you real quick, I got it ripped in. As long as it goes quickly.
Yes, sometimes it just takes a minute for the, there you go.
Yeah, I can see, so you just would have to, it's kinda hard, cause I'm looking up here. You know, click anywhere to start recording, and I can say, hi, welcome to my class, I'm excited that you're all here, your first assignment is going to be, you know,
Blah, blah,
something.
blah.
And
Then you stop,
hit stop.
it's going to be.
And they decided to like it or not,
Save
save it or don't.
Save it or don't, exactly. So if you don't, do you want me to save it so you can see how it appears?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
See, it's down here, and then I'll go in and we'll show you the view of the student, you know, so in this, and then, assuming that you've completed what you need to do up here, notice this is an assignment, okay, it's not a quiz, okay. And there's the title, we called it Composition 1, you know, let's say if it's worth 25 points, I'm just trying to use a different value. You know, you can set your due dates, you can decide here on submission type, do you want them, is it no submission, maybe they're doing something external, handing something into you.
Or a presentation in class.
Right, but if they're gonna do an online submission, this is where I wanted to show you. You can select one or all of these. So, for example, when I did the assignments for the quizzes, I only allowed the text entry, because that's what we wanted. But, you know, you could allow students to make attachments, upload. You could say, oh, I want to allow media recordings, and then that would allow you to get your, you know, audio if they wanted to do that, or something similar to like what I just did, if it's something on a
For
website.
your
So you can
oral
do
project.
as many of these as you want, okay? And then if you want to, and again, notifications, if you want to check that, oh, I made a change to this assignment. Not, initially I wouldn't do this, but later on, if I made a critical change to the assignment and I wanted my students to be notified, you can check that button when you hit to update the assignment, okay? And there are some more options here you can always click on. In this case, this is where we were grouping things. Remember when we set up that grade book? And so we had put this one under the homework. I had put the other ones under something called the entry proficiency assessment. So we had grouped some things, and you'll see when I click on the grade book, you'll see some of these groupings. And we're grading by points. Canvas actually allows things to be group assignments, actually allows peer reviews too, if you have a need for that, but I would keep it simple initially. I would just start to play with your tools very simply, and then if you want more information on that, we're happy to sit down and help you and show you how it works.
And we should always choose grading by points.
Well, it's whatever, I mean,
Or
you
is
might
that
have other options, you might be
Okay.
electronic.
Yeah.
Percentage. Like
Or
out of the
complete or
100 or
incomplete,
whatever.
sometimes you just want to see if
They did it or not, right, okay.
So, yeah,
Like
so that's.
an
I was
example of
ask-
complete and complete might be, let's say you have a first module where you're asking your students to go through the syllabus and accept it, kind of a terms of service type of deal.
Mhm.
Then you would wanna make that a complete and complete so that you
Right,
can
right.
check which students have gone through and have understood the syllabus or whatever. So that's the kind of stuff that you would
Oh,
want.
nice, yeah, okay, that
We
one.
definitely need to implement that in the 100.
Definitely. Well, and you are able to lock the assignment and, you know, so they can submit after a certain date. You have a lot of dates in some of these tools that allow you to control when they can see it, when they can do what.
Okay.
Anyway, so then I'm gonna update this assignment. And you can see, this is pretty much what the students would see too. This was that video that I got from YouTube. So if I click on it, you know, it's going to pretty much be the YouTube video right there. And
Those are the people who are still gonna steal your jobs.
and then this is what I recorded. Let me scroll down here.
Thank you.
So you can actually use the short little video, and in Spanish,
Yeah.
you know, welcome, you know, your students and stuff. Considering it's a language class and they could hear, you know, I think it's pretty cool. So anyway, so those were those instructions there, and that's pretty much what a student would see. And I guess probably the only other place then I
You
haven't
could probably
clicked on-
click the speed grader and show how to create a rubric. So if you wanna use
Well,
a
you can
different
add a
rubric for
rubric
your
right here.
grading.
You could add the rubric right here.
Yeah, oh, I'm
Just
sorry,
click add
yeah.
rubric, okay,
And you just
Um,
import it.
And then if you
Right.
scroll down,
there we go.
Upload it.
So now down here,
Create
there's
one.
different
Or
things.
just write it, okay.
Okay,
But if
now-
you have one that already exists, you could just move it over, right?
You can use the one that is the standard for the course. You can just bring it
Oh, okay, or if there's some.
in, or you can create your own.
Yeah, so if a rubric already exists, cause maybe you use the same rubric for 4 or 5 assignments. So you create it once, then you could reuse it for your other assignments. Or like Jorge just said, I've created that rubric with the functionality and the content and all
Right.
that. And you could go find that one, it would be available. Or you can just start creating your own. So, you know, I could put, this was my composition. Let's call it composition rubric. You know, in here, I can edit each of these and I can, you know, put, let's see, you know, I'll just,
Penmanship.
yeah, I'm supposed to say content for a minute. Anyway, you know, I hit okay, and then I decide my rating scale, okay? So I'll just use, I know you guys were doing this. And we actually were setting them to 4, 3, 2, 1, I hit okay. I can add another one here because I need it, and I can click very quickly. I can change this one to meets. And that was 3. And I can hit okay. Oh, I think I want one more. So I'll do this one. And this one was approaches. And that was gonna be 2. And then this one, I mean, you can leave something like no marks, but I was doing incomplete and giving them 1. And then I set this to 1. That's the way it kinda is in your current rubric. Notice it'll automatically calculate the highest, which is 4 here. Hit okay. And then if you wanna add more, you know, like if you wanted to do penmanship or if you wanted to do other things, you can add it. If you decide you don't need it, you can just, you know, go here. Notice here, I'll write free-form comments when assessing students. That will actually allows you to write some comments in some of the criteria areas. But if you're trying to do something consistency across, I probably wouldn't check that. Use this rubric. This is where you decide that you want the rubric to be used as the grade.
Okay.
Okay, now remember when I showed you that quiz
Right.
tool, it didn't work that way, you
Right.
had to actually go put the grade in. But in the assignments, because I checked this, that's why yours automatically did it,
Okay.
okay? And then, you know, you can actually hide score total from the assessment results too, but I'll just leave this checked. And then you just hit create rubric. And, well, and see, there's telling you, I said that was worth 4 points, but my rubric only gives me 4, so I'd have to go either balance out my number of points or rubric or decide. So I'll just leave different for fun, okay? And so that's kind of how you create assignment if you have some that you wanna do. What was the other thing? Oh, just to show you the grade book, for
The grade book,
example,
sure.
yeah. I can pull that up quickly. So notice, you know, I only have the few students, their IDs, but we have things, these were the part 1, part 2, part 3,
No more calculations, Krista.
text entry
Not like
selection.
that.
No more formulas.
Okay, notice how it kinda changed, you know, in here, it changed, you know, some of the colors, nothing in there yet.
That's because
Total.
there's nothing in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, those ones are the categories. So the
Yeah, these
assignment
are the
groups
categories.
are at the end, and the actual assignments are at the beginning of the grade book.
Oh, each individual thing.
Yeah,
separately,
each
and then it's
individual
So
a
right
percentage,
now-
is that, okay.
So this entry
How it's
proficiency
calculated, how it's
assessment,
weighted is at
Okay.
the end.
we had said that there's 10% of the grade, and so far, this person, I think, that B, and notice how B's name stays there. So she's got 41.8%, and that should be based on everything she's done so far, which is, she did part 1, part 2, part 3, and
She
this one
submitted
wasn't
part
graded
4,
yet.
but
Part
not
4
graded.
wasn't graded
So
yet.
that's not counted in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so anyway, so you have those totals over here.
So students can keep track of their grades throughout the semester, and as a student, when you log in, you can actually do, like, what-if scenarios. So you can say, oh, if I get like 80% in the final exam, what kind of final grade would that give me? And then you just put in the grades, and then, oh, yeah, well, that's good enough. You know, it's, for the student, you know, it's great because that's what students wanna do. For you guys, it's like, well, you should do your best for every assessment, but.
But they can go in
Yeah.
there and just play around with.
Yeah, and just play around, okay, if I get like this grade in that assignment, that's gonna give me.
They do it on paper
whatever.
anyway.
Yeah,
They do it
exactly.
on paper
And they
anyway.
ask me, yeah.
They come here.
I look like a mathematician.
Does this allow us to deduct the points for attendance off at the end?
That will, we haven't discussed that yet.
Yeah, you have to do it manually.
You can, there's a fudge factor for the grades. So you can actually set your grade book to have more than 100 points. And you could set, the attendance to start with 10 points and then deduct or whatever, or find ways to do that kind of stuff. Or you can just deduct it from, you can actually deduct it from whatever assignment, you just, you know, take out one.
Probably add in a final grade minus absences, deduction for absences column or something, would that be possible?
We would have to look at exactly how you wanna handle that, but, if you wanna make it a part of the 100 points, then maybe your attendance is 5%, and you give 5% to everybody to start with, and then every time they miss, you take a point off throughout the semester, you just keep track of that. And you can actually, you could keep track of that in the speed grader. So you could give 5 points to everybody to start with, and every time they miss, you just put the date as a comment in the speed grader, -1, you didn't attend this class,